social media news, a live broadcast, which is for me to catch up on the social media news, for you to catch up with me, and also for me to test my tech. I've not moved too much around this week, but I just got information that there might be an outage on Telstra. So if I suddenly vanish, it's an NBN. They're saying an upgrade. So I hope it's an upgrade. We'll see. And I'll just check and make sure that we are on where we're meant to be on. Yep, everybody's there. Excellent. So let me just put the strap up, because if you've seen me before, you know I forget the strap. Monday mornings, 10:45 Sydney time, social media news. Okay, let's go on. Let's get into it. Oh, if you have any questions, please let me know. Put myself up there, I think, for the time being. If you can hear a buzz, I am sorry about that. I brought the mic closer, but the noisiest thing in the room is my Blackmagic A10 Mini Pro ISO. I might have to move back to the old Blackmagic. Let's have a look. So I'm in my monitoring dashboard and I'm using Feedly. There's a free version and a paid version. I'm paying. It's like a couple bucks a month. It lets me bring in Twitter, not just my own Twitter, but other people's Twitter and hashtags. Also Facebook pages, using another tool. And I just like to keep an eye on the world and what's been going on. So I had a quick flick through and thought I'd just pop some things up. I didn't get a chance to really look at them, but I thought, hey, we can look at it together. So designing a signals platform for Instagram. Signals, if you're not familiar with it, it's part of the SEO, SMO, social media optimization of the news feed. And there's a few things that go into signals. One is story types. Do you like text? Do you like videos? And obviously with Instagram, it's for visual story types, visual people. There's other things too. Degradation over time and gamification terms, and like this and you'll win something that gets penalized. So signals. When we view a photo on Instagram, we can pick up on different signals from the photo that are relevant to us. So one of the things that Facebook and Instagram have is deep face, which is object recognition, and it can pick up what the picture is about. Obviously, hashtags help to cement the certainty of that. What are they trying to explain to us? Many-to-many relationships that can occur. Yeah, of course. So if you put up a photo of a beach, people that like beaches are here. And then if you put up a photo, that photo also has a jetty, people who like fishing are signalled, kind of. Is that the right word? And then if you put a dog playing on the jetty, people who like dogs and animals are connected to that. So they're just explaining what the signals platform is. I'm assuming it's an AI-driven signal processing event observation. There are different times in which a team would like a signal to be calculated. In most cases, this turns out to be the upload time for a photo. However, we may want to delay calculation if the signal isn't vital, or we may want to recalculate the signal at another time. I was wondering about that because there is definitely degradation immediately after posting, but not always. Like YouTube gives you half an hour and other platforms give you a set amount of time. What would you call that? I guess second chance or something. Second life. I'm going to look into that some more. It's probably a bit geeky, bit engineering for what we talk about on a Monday morning, but it is important. And when I'm talking to social media managers and they say, how can I get ahead of other social media managers? I'm like, understand the technology, not stories. Oh, I posted something and it was a bit of a guess, but I think this is what happened. That's anecdotal. In God we trust, all others bring data. Next one. So Facebook Australia have posted Mother's Day, promoting pages to do with Mother's Day, and then a privacy update, asking you to go in and do a privacy checkup. I think I'm a little cynical with these kind of things only because, and I realise I'm talking a little quietly. If it's too quiet, please let me know. One of the reasons that I'm cynical is that Facebook tells people how to close the front door. So go into the privacy checkup, change your password, delete some apps. They don't even push that. But, you know, oh, your friends can see this, but your friends can't see that, and they can see your other friends, or they can't see your other friends. So it's all closing the front door. There is no back door because the back is completely open. So the API allows banks and supermarkets and whoever else to connect and have data. And big data warehouses grab all that stuff. So we can lock and bolt the front door as much as we want. It doesn't mean that there isn't a connection between you filling in an insurance form for car insurance and that data not being connected to you in some way. It's problematic. So good on you for telling us about the privacy checkup, but I would need to actually go through and just make sure it wasn't just on how sharing photos. I want to know that people know how to opt out of, for instance, Facebook pixel tracking when they're on eBay or Amazon or whatever else that they're on. What a shame the Privacy Commission doesn't get behind this stuff. All right, next one. So I wanted to go on to platforms and see what the platforms are saying. Does saying link in bio affect your Instagram post performance experiment? Yes, it does. And the head of the data feed has already said this. Anecdotal reports and gut feelings? No. The head of the news feed said we call it gamifying the news feed. Share this with a friend. Link in bio. Like this and win something. All those terms go through the semantic engine. The semantic engine knows what it means and it penalizes you. So this is anecdotal. This posting methodology, but it's not methodology. 2 posts, same day of the week, at the same time, with the only difference being that one week I would add link in bio at the end of the caption. But there's a difference from week to week. The results. Those with link in bio perform slightly better than those without. Okay. So when Facebook talks about penalizing gamification of the news feed, that's their term for it. I mean, it's a standard term, but they're applying it in that way. They're telling us that they're checking for those things. But not everything is equal in the data sets. So what happens is link in bio means that people actually go through, they click the bio, they click the link in the bio, and that boosts the engagement, amplification, analytics. That competes against the penalty points that you would get for posting link in bio or posting like this and share this to win, or whatever it is that you're doing to gamify the newsfeed to force more engagement. I would say that 6 posts you get a pass because, and she mentions 10,000 plus in the network. So we've already got a reasonable database, big old pool of followers to work with. I'm not sharing. Let me just share this. Should I be in the bottom left? Yeah. Big old pool of followers of 10,000. So that probably doesn't mention engagement. Probably already had reasonable engagement. So adding link in bio is not going to be too much of a problem. If every single post had win by clicking the link in the bio, the MAU, monthly active user data, I don't know if the MAU would be affected, but definitely the gamification, we're going to kick you, stuff comes in. Have you been penalized for this sort of stuff? I'm not 100% sure where my thingy is. Let me have a look. Facebook gamification. Let's see if we can bring it up. They've moved recently, the website. So this is Adam Mosseri, head of the newsfeed. He's now head of the Instagram newsfeed, but he was the head of the Facebook newsfeed. Using engagement bait to goad people into commenting on posts is not a meaningful interaction, and we will continue to demote these posts in the news feed. And then if you go into the terms and conditions of Facebook and Instagram, they actually tell you things like you're not allowed to do competitions through comment this and share this and so on. I'm almost certain there's another post somewhere else that goes through examples. I can't see the examples in this one, but it's definitely worth looking up the news feed. Where is it? On the newsroom. What's wrong with me this morning? We need to look. See, they're using signals. So that was the first post that we looked at, was talking about signals. And it's about reducing public content from businesses, brands and media, and it's crowding out our personal news. Basically, if you gamify the signals by saying click in the news feed, look in the bio, you may not realize it, but you're actually getting more engagement, and that's going to be the issue. Anyway, let's keep moving. You guys know this stuff. Might be an idea to have a look at that one on Hootsuite though, and see what you think. Enterprise social media management, 10 tools and tips you need to know. I looked at this one, it was quite generic. Like, understand business priorities. So that's where you want to put your purpose and your values on a chart with your customer's purpose and their values. Why do they want to connect with you? Why do you want to connect with them? That kind of thing. Metrics are important, we know that. Analytics, compliance and crisis comms, that's pretty critical. Escalation charts, things like that. Don't mention that, but whatever. And then getting into enterprise social media tools. So what we have here is Adobe Marketo for marketing automation. You can use any marketing automation tool. All of these, of course, are going to work with Hootsuite. Salesforce, yeah. Once you start with Salesforce, they keep adding stuff in, and they charge for the things that are free. Like a widget that's free normally, they charge for. The one that I saw was bringing social media analytics in, freely available on the platforms. Zero Fox is security for your Hootsuite, or your social media accounts connecting with Hootsuite. Compliance, Smash. Should we look into that one? Okay. Now, the thing is it compliance internationally or is it compliance for America? For example, in Australia, we have to report to the markets if a crisis comp situation is brewing on social media, which may impact the company stock price. So I might have a look at that one. It'll be useful. I mean, compliance is just so broad though. I mean, regulatory around pharmaceuticals is different than regulatory around credit products. So what's this one? Mother's Day gifts for foodies. Why did I bring that one up? Oh, that's not social media. I don't know why that ended up in here. Let's keep going. So this is Social Media Essentials being put out by Eventbrite, which I used to sell my tickets through them, but I didn't like the new layout. The thing is, people see this and they scroll down and they read it and they can't find the pricing, and it's actually right up here hidden in the top right. People just don't see this. So this is a workshop. Cool. Looks like it's for not-for-profits on June the 15th by the Centre for Volunteering. So if anybody's interested, go and have a look at that one. I wanted to bring an event in anyway. And I also want to bring in a job. So I think Mondays we'll do social media jobs and social media events. So if you're a social media manager, this could be interesting sections. And I am intending to put up a little interstitial to break everything up so you can find them easier. Give me a break, I'm just doing it for the first time today. Well, not the first time, I have done it in the past, but no, I think I'm going to make it a thing. Australia's premier marketplace for creative talent. The Right Fit. Oh, so it's a job, a vertical for jobs in the creative space. The Right Fit. Still can't get used to the ones that are not .coms. I need talent. I need an influencer. Oh, so they do influencers and talents. Content creator, mummy and parenting, food, beauty, home and garden, health and fitness, fashion, business and technology, always at the bottom. It's not much of a sales pitch, is it? You have to sign in to find things. Past Contra collabs. Contra collabs are the bottom level of influencer campaigns. So when we do influencer campaigns, we have 7 or 8 levels and we negotiate the different levels. We do it directly, but this is an agency that'll do it. And Contra collabs is, we'll give you stuff and you'll post. Not brilliant for A-grade influencers, but there's lots of, small influencers that are just happy to have new products and services for them to talk about and to... I don't think they have anything in the business and tech. Let's see what they have under food. No, it is the same. Do they have an example of a... Now, one of the things that I saw on the job, this is the sort of thing you would need to investigate before you applied for the job, by the way, and know who their competitors are and look at the social media of their competitors, because there's a lot of these little agencies coming through. Sorry, just checking that buzz from the Black Magic. CRM, Pipedrive, Salesforce, HubSpot. HubSpot, I believe, have a free course. It would be worth doing that at any time, just so you know HubSpot. Almost all social CRM products have really similar tools. In fact, I was looking for something special a few times over the last few years and couldn't find it. What did we start with? I think in about 2010, the social CRM product I started with was High Rise Backpack HQ. Salesforce has what's it called? Marketing Cloud. They've changed the name a few times. That one's hard to get information on. I mean, above the generic, it's a social CRM. All right, it's a flat rate influencer marketing agency. So it's got to be at the low end of the market. Yeah? I don't know. All right. Just going to turn the sound up just a little bit. And we'll see if that improves it. Thanks for the feedback. I appreciate it. If you could let me know if that's better, that would be awesome. Thank you. So I've got a whole video on how to prepare for an interview as a social media manager, and part of the reason I did that is because I realized that quite potentially good job applicants were rocking up and hadn't done like some basic reviews, which probably was because they didn't know how to do them, like going into the ads library and seeing what kind of ads the client, the potential employer, was running and who their audiences were for those ads, and then going in and looking at competitor analytics, pulling in engagement and popular posts and things like that, and being able to know how to talk about those things during, or at least having the foundation there, so if they come up during the job interview, you can respond to them. And so I put a video together on that. It's so interesting that the job function is marketing and sales when social media itself can sit under recruitment, employer branding, and other things. So I think what they're doing is, this is actually a social media manager, and this is where it can become a little confusing. I need to read it clearly. This is for working with clients, so it's B2B, excuse me. We always get to that time and I start coughing. Okay, where are we at? Just checking the volume and hoping that that is a little bit better. You'll need a bachelor's degree. You need a strong understanding of influencer marketing. It doesn't say experience, it says understanding. Experience working in media or creative agency, fast-paced, client-focused outcomes, project management, to be psychic. Okay. Not giving too much away there, but yeah. Next one. Let's keep going. What do we got here? Oh, this is the right fit. That was the one I was just on. Right. Anyway, go and have a look. Have a dig through. You can get influencer analytics from a variety of places, so and some of them are free, so it's probably worth looking around. What else do we have here? Robinhood's biggest business more than tripled amid trading frenzy. They generated 331 million in payments for order flow during the first 3 months of 2021. This is funny. So Robinhood was part of that, the gaming that the Wall Street Bets forum on Reddit did, where they played the stock and pushed it up and down and things like that. GameStop was one of them. I don't know if you remember. And Robinhood is I was going to say it's a peer-to-peer marketplace, but it's not. They allow people to trade through an app, but then when people started making money, they allegedly, well, not allegedly, they blocked trading, and they said, okay, you can't trade this stock anymore. So people were left holding stock that they may have wanted to sell. And that meant then that regulators had to come in. And it had to do with who the parent company or the main investor in Robinhood. I can't remember. I did a big video on it. Give me a break. It was like January. There was a lot going on in January. So it caused lawsuits and customer complaints and the social media cancel campaign to delete the app. But it didn't dent the business, and they went on to make more money, and that just goes to show you. Mind you, it's Fox Business, so I'd be interested to read some other reviews of this and what they mean by making money after they've paid all the fines, after they've paid all the whatever from the court cases, and others. Hello, YouTube. You're just joining us, and I think we're just finishing up, so there you go. That was the one I just brought up. Was there anything else that we needed to look at? I feel like I'm missing some things. The Oversight Board upholds Facebook's decision to suspend Donald Trump's accounts. That's from the newsroom. So this is direct from Facebook. One of the reasons I like Feedly is, although I bring in traditional media, and often they hide the press releases behind a paywall, but if I bring in the press room itself, I get direct access to what the company's actually saying as first-hand information. Always remember that the company, everything's super positive. We're doing this, and we're taking charge, and we're leadership, and we're this. And then with media, it's super negative, because if it bleeds, it leads. You've heard that term before, and you've heard me say it before. Media likes to take an overly positive PR fluff piece and turn it into something negative and show the other viewpoint. The truth is somewhere in the middle. So it's always a good idea for me to look at both the original source material, the original source PR, press, news release. I was going to say press release, news release. And then the other side of that is for me to see what the media did with it, because they're often, remember, media uses Facebook and Google to pull in their stories. I know that media tells you that Facebook and Google steal the stories, but it's actually the other way around. The stories are in the community. Facebook and Google surface them as trending topics, as memes. This is popular. This is what people are saying. And then 99.8% of the time, media is using big data to extrapolate out those community stories to steal them from the community, using the Facebook and Google and Twitter tools, and then hide them behind a paywall. I'm not talking about the 0.001% of articles that end up as Pulitzer Prize-winning deep journalism. I'm talking about the churning out of stuff. Media steals it from the community through Facebook and Google tools, okay? So I just want to be clear on that. I know I've already done the media bargaining code rant. I'm not doing that again. But I did want to point that out. So if we come back to Donald Trump, this oversight board is interesting. I reported on them a few times now. I think June or July last year was the first time that I talked about it, so it'll be back in my history. Sought the board's views on our policies around political figures. They don't mention free speech. And they don't mention democratic process. You have to remember, if it's not illegal, then political figures can undertake certain actions. And if a corporation steps in to block that because regulatory doesn't deal with it, then that is a problem for the government, who are not stepping in and making something illegal. So in Australia, for instance, mentioned this before, politicians are given a pass on truthiness. If a company was to lie in advertising, they would be penalised under the AEASB, the Advertising Standards Bureau. But the exception is for political figures who are allowed to lie, which then leaves Facebook and Twitter and all the rest of the platforms to step in. You know, if Dad won't say no, then Mum has to, I guess. And that's a problem with government and with regulation, not with Facebook and Twitter. There is the thing, though, do we really, really want a American, Californian corporate to be responsible for democratic debate? We need to fix that. And I am not saying that inciting or not inciting riots is not an issue. I'm saying that it should not be up to corporate America to determine that and to step in and mute the sitting president. That's all. We need to get some rules and regulations in place. And we need some rules and regulations of how these platforms can work with us. I mean, at the moment, the government seems to be chasing money for Google and chasing money from Facebook and Google for media. There's a bunch of other things that should be a higher priority than that. But who knows? All right. Where are we at? I think we're just finishing up. All right, excellent. So, I'm just putting up on the screen now a couple of things. I've got some dates and times coming up where people can come to my training room in the Blue Mountains as we exit this latest lockdown. Not straight away, just putting them together so that people can have them. And they're one-on-one sessions. So you come to me and we do training for a day and then you toddle off. So it's very, very bespoke for you, your industry, your business, your concerns, your goals, that sort of thing. I have some Zooms this afternoon, which I'm preparing for. One of the reasons I'm checking out sound and tech and everything was for that. So the Zoom can be for individuals or teams. In July, I'm shifting that to being for teams only. And that way, if you want to do a Zoom with me, you have to bring a friend, basically. And what else are we doing? I think that's it at the moment. I'm considering doing some work through a university, not sure which one, which would be interesting to get back to in a post-pandemic phase, teaching social media through unis. And yeah, I think that's it. What have you been up to? If you have any social media news for me, please let me know on any of the platforms. Because, you know, I'm streaming live on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. And on Facebook, I'm streaming in pages and groups and personal and all sorts of things. So let me know if you have any news that you'd like me to cover in the next session. I'm struggling to find Australia-based news that's not a press release from a brand saying, and it's not really social media, it's just a click here, sign up here and win something. Like, how many times can we do a Facebook or Instagram competition and call it a social media campaign? I don't know. Thursdays, EduSocial is coming to an end. So how brands build online courses, that lecture series, which is at 1 p.m. Sydney time, that's coming to an end. You can watch the historical videos if you like. They're available to you. If you have an industry or a series that you would like me to cover, please let me know. I've got a couple of ideas. A few people have mentioned a few things over the last few weeks. So I'm just debating at the moment what this Thursdays will be about. And I will make an announcement before Thursday so you can make a decision. Oh yeah, I'd like to know about social media strategy for government, or I'd like to know about crisis comms for universities and higher education, which, by the way, were the last two series, and we've already covered those. So if you've got any others that you would like me to cover, please let me know. And I think that's it. We've come to the end of yet another Social Media News Live. I'm going to have to love you and leave you. And I will see you. When will I see you? I'll see you on Thursday or next Monday at 10:45 a.m. Thanks very much. See you then. Bye.